Welcome to the Enlightenment space. The place, a good place to find yourself, I hope. Here to serve you, to inspire, to encourage you, to hold you in a place of awareness in this consciousness. I trust that you feel this connection deep within yourself. Allow the energy of what we call the no words to carry you even deeper into this space of awareness. Shanyan Om Kadya Sarishnan Alan Klanyen Hom Sairi Veshna Alan Haka Usha Ereman Hom Le Ishano Halakan O Irem Shenom Halakai Oshoma Devishne She Manda Kolebosho Sasha Kishne Vishnobren Karyubrando La Kushnoka Sanoshadev Vishnevinum Kali Vishnekran So Shalivin Ulumaka Savishnakla True Kan Ashnaka Vandien Lomba Karira Kasha Ansha Vishno Lish Naklan Kishno Lakin Klaun Sholon Dakai Vishnaklan Tukyushon Prakasha Jishno Vansham De Somjusha Kanja Gishne Kushokla Kusha Verimro Kronda Savinokla Akya Esho Kanashakta Kashandi Brikta Om Kasha. So, what did I just say? I don't know how the no words affect you, but they have a resonating, expanding, accelerating effect on me. Because before I do them, I feel just sort of ordinary, but afterwards I feel accelerated and other in a way. So that brings me to this place where over the years I have attempted to inspire you, to uplift you, to encourage you. Sorry, it'll stop. It's just the doorbell. Yeah. This is the delivery. How you like my ode to joy? A delivery. It's probably Winston's dog food. You never know when they're coming. So anyway, Ode to Joy. It's a good one. It is an ode to joy. It is my joy to be able to be of service to you over these years. And I know it is difficult for you to often put into practice the teachings, because they're not yours. They're what I experience. And they work for me. Because I speak from a place that is this direct experience of the Ishvarian consciousness that I am. And what I say is what is for me and what works for me, as long as I maintain the frequency and the energy of the Ishvarian consciousness and space. If I allow myself to let my frequency lower, if I get involved in the world of consensus reality, conditions, beliefs, and the other, I lose it. And then the intellect says, oh well, it's just all nonsense. It doesn't work. It doesn't work from the standpoint of normal human existence, because the teaching, the Ishvarian consciousness, is not a normal teaching. It's not a normal living situation. It's a transcendent, beyond experience. And it requires a person to apply themselves to it. It's not magic. It's not supernatural. It's a very powerful combination of knowing and principle and putting into practice these words. And you may say, oh, well, it doesn't work. If you say so. It won't work unless you know within yourself what it is and how to apply it. It's like one of the teachings in the scriptures says you can't put new wine in old wine skins. It'll burst them. I think probably we'd be very fortunate if we could burst the old consciousness that you reside in by applying these new teachings. Then you would start fresh. But what happens is you take what I say and you try to apply it to the way you see the world around you and the way you've lived your life, and you say it doesn't work. Well, of course not. It won't work from the old principles, from the old beliefs, from the old conditioning. And another thing that happens is often one does have an accelerated, expanded experience from this space. And you know it. You've experienced it. And something happens within the intellect, and you forget it. You move away from it. I see it so often in human experience. You have an accelerated, uplifting experience, and you say, oh, wow, I know now. And then sometime later on, you say, oh, that must not have been real because I forgot it. When your frequency lowers back into a previous level of existence, you go back into the old clothing, the old shoes, the old way of being. And of course, you don't have it anymore. It requires to live in this space a constant vigilance to keep your knowing intact, to stay in touch with the teachings of the highest possible awareness within yourself. And to cast all doubt out, because the intellect relies upon consensus reality around it from others. And we do live in a world of doubters, false believers, liars, cheats, and all sorts of deceivers. And if you look to that, you become entangled and lost. So it is, I realize, difficult to live the teachings, to live in this highest perspective of the Ishvara consciousness. I realize the difficulties that you face. And that's why I am constantly holding this space and sending out the energy to assist you. But you must make the effort. You must be on purpose to attach to that energy. It's like you have to plug into it. It's there, but you have to create and establish a plug-in to plug into it. That's what you have to do. And that's how it works. Otherwise, you say, oh, it doesn't work. We are entering a phase of human existence where these teachings are going to become more and more important for humanity, because life is becoming more and more difficult for human existence. There is so many contradictory things going on, so many false beliefs and teachings out there. All the old things are not effective, are misleading and misdirecting, and downright destructive. And so we need now, above all times, a very high teaching to help human beings to achieve a higher state of existence. This is about becoming the highest aspect of what is humanly capable for us to be. It's possible. Every human being has within themselves the capacity to achieve a higher level of excellence and achievement and knowing. It is within you. But it's not free. One must take the effort. One must on purpose expel all of the doubts, the fears, the resistances, and all of the naysay. All the things that you say to yourself, you can't. You have to move to I can. You see? For in this, you are your worst enemy. Because when you doubt yourself, you open the door to the conditional consensus reality of the world around you, and it just swamps you with all the stuff. So, you hold to the truth of what the teachings are. I mean, there is an abundance of them already. I mean, I have been talking for a long time, 35-something years. Coming into this world, coming into this awareness, taking this body to speak was on purpose, as love. I find it curious that it was on Valentine's Day that this awakening took place. the love day. It was for love that I come. Love, love for humanity, love for you, love for life. So what a message that is. To leave a place of serenity, of sweetness, of power, of completeness, to move into a place of restrictions, of lessness, of tightness, of resistance, for the sake of love, to present love to humanity. You see? That is. It is a sacrifice. But it's a willing sacrifice for the sake of love, for the sake of humanity, to create a new possible human being in this world. For it is your right. It is your heritage. It is what you are to become. I could say divine right. So that is what it is. So when you doubt, when you fear, cast it out. Hold to the truth that you know deep within yourself, in spite of what the mind intellect says. For it is important to hold to the core realization that you originally had in the beginning, when you first heard the message of love. The movement that you had in the very beginning was it. And it will continue to grow and become if you nurture and feed it with your attention and your focus and your allowing. That is what I have to say to you in this moment. And realize that I'm here to support and encourage and inspire you every moment of your life. That's my sole reason for being here. I really don't care much else about this world. There's not much to attract me. So it is you that attracts me. To see you to prosper and to evolve and to become and to blossom into the highest possible existence of a human being possible at this time in the flow of humanity. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this space in this moment.
Shantara says, thanks, Ishvara.
You're welcome, Shantara. Thank you for watching.
And Anna and Slava say, dear Ishvara, thank you so much for being here for us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here for me also. Thank you for being with us today. And thank you for your love and support. Sure.
Johanna says thank you and everything. And then Anna and Slava say, Anna or Slava says, I think the first time I heard this message was when I was a little child, maybe even before I could talk. I realized it more through nature. Can you talk more about nature in terms of realization?
If we were to know anything, we can look to nature. The naturalness of the world around us, it doesn't labor, it just does, it just is, it just bees. So when we compare that to this human existence, how humans are always laboring and striving and destroying and all this, and then nature is just being. It's just doing what's natural to it, and there is some destruction in it, but it's kind of reconstruction other than destruction. And so being close to nature, one sees a certain order that is very natural, and you can learn from that and you can feel from that. And being amongst the trees, being by the oceans or the water, one feels a peace, a serenity that you don't really feel in the concrete world around us. So we learn from, because I grew up on the farm, so I was always very much aware of nature, and I used to roam hours out in the woods, and there were certain spots in the woods that I loved to be, and there was places that were very mystical and magical, and it spoke to me. So I've always been very much aware of how nature was superior to any intellectual pursuit, and so yes, that was my first awakening when I was probably 8 years old, out wandering around in that special space that I found. And it was funny, I found that space one time and I couldn't find it again. So it was there just that moment. So, yes.
Anna or Slava says thank you.
Yeah, it's a shame how we are treating nature now, and I think that if humans do not wake up to what they're doing, there's going to be a very terrible price that's going to be paid for that, because we need to start respecting the earth and taking care of the earth and nature, because it is always taking care of us. And there's going to be a balancing that comes into play very soon, probably is already coming into play.